Hello, I'm Melissa. Welcome to my channel, Lemon Balm Yoga. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today, I have a special sequence for our service workers. So this includes our pharmacists, our grocery clerks, our doctors, nurses, anyone that stands on their feet throughout the day. You know who you are, and this practice is for you. First, I would like to tell you thank you so much for what you're doing for our communities during this time of quarantine. Thank you for putting your health on the line for us to keep us healthy and to provide. I really appreciate what you're doing. I hope that you will use this practice and give back to yourself. Show yourself some love. I know that you're giving a lot of yourself right now, and so I hope that you will be able to take some time to just really tune in to your breath and give back to yourself. Today, if you have a blanket, we will use that, so go ahead and grab it. And if you have a nice clear wall space, go ahead and get set up next to it, taking the short edge of your mat there. If not, no worries. I'm going to show you a different variation using a chair. So you can set up close to a chair or your couch or any seated area. So whenever you're ready, go ahead and grab your props, set up at the appropriate place, and we will get started. All right, let's get started. First, I'm going to show you how to set up if you don't have a clear wall space and use a chair or couch. So you're just going to come to sit close to your chair. And if it's a hard chair, you can always take a little more cushion, like a blanket, and place it over it. Or you can even have a blanket on the back of your mat for your head and shoulders to lie on. So rolling onto the back, you're going to come to place the calves, the feet onto your chair for some support, allowing your lower back to sink into the ground. So this is your position if you're using a chair. For us that are using a wall, make sure that your blanket is placed close to the wall, your mat is up against the wall. And then we will come to take one hip right against the wall. And this is the tricky part. We're going to roll the legs up the wall. And you want to kind of wiggle around trying to get your sits bones as close to the wall as you can. The blanket can be underneath the hips just to lift the hips slightly here. And go ahead and take the feet about hip distance apart. The back of the neck is long, so the chin may be slightly tucked towards the chest. Once you arrive, we're going to go ahead and take our arms out into goalposts. So bending the elbows out to the side, the hands will fall towards the front edge of the mat. Once you settle in here, allowing the hips to sink towards the ground, go ahead and allow the eyes to relax into their sockets. We'll take a moment to arrive, letting our busy day go to the side. Feeling the earth beneath you and the wall supporting you. Giving yourself permission to relax and be in the present moment. Take a nice full inhale, taking in as much air as you can, filling up the lungs completely. You may even pause for a moment at the top of the inhale. And then whenever you need to exhale, open the mouth, keep the lips nice and soft, and side out. 2 more rounds like that. Inhale. Taking in as much air as you can and sighing it out. One more round in your own time. And then starting to inhale and exhale from the nose if possible. Bring in a slight constriction to the back of the throat. So you'll make an audible sound that sounds like waves of the ocean. Inhaling for a count of 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Continuing to count silently to yourself. Allowing the breath to come smooth and even. The exhales the same length as the inhales. And taking your attention to the tips of your toes and starting to scan your body down, each area of the body, noticing where you may be holding in the body and giving each spot permission to relax and release, finding softness. It's a great pose to allow the blood to flow in the opposite direction, making it easier for our heart to beat. You can always do this pose even when you get into the bed at night, taking the legs along the wall or your bed post, whatever's available for you. Staying in this position for 5 minutes for the most benefit. Taking your attention to your heart center, the middle of the chest. Noticing your heartbeat in your chest. Establishing your connection with God. Giving gratitude for the present moment, for your present health, and the ability to take time to give back to yourself. So important. And then noticing how it feels to allow yourself to be present and still. No worries if this is difficult for you. For empathetic people, sometimes this is difficult to actually slow down and take care of ourselves. But knowing you're doing a good thing, can't pour from an empty cup. Being proud of yourself for taking this time. At the end of your next exhale, go ahead and bring the elbows in towards each other, palms in towards each other, and then sliding the thumbs down to heart center, to our sternum. Taking a moment to honor this time of giving back to yourself, honoring this time of showing yourself love and nurture. Taking a full inhale, a full exhale. You can keep the eyes closed and just listen to my voice, or you may flutter the eyes open, finding a soft gaze, releasing the hands to the backs of the legs and going ahead and bending the right knee, followed by the left. You can walk the feet down the wall as much as comfortable for you. And then taking the hands to the inside of the knees, we're going to bring the soles of the feet together as we press the hands into the inner thighs. Just a little pressure here to open the knees towards the wall. Feel the shoulders loop down the back. Trying to keep the hips nice and grounded. Nice full inhales. And nice full exhales. Keeping the skin of the face nice and soft. The jaw is relaxed. The shoulders are relaxed. And then releasing the hands to the backs of the legs, closing the knees in towards each other, and just allowing the head to rock from ear to ear. If you would like to hold on one side and breathe, you can. Eventually switching to the opposite. And then making your way back to center. We're going to take the feet hip distance apart and walk the feet up the wall slightly. Your arms are along your side. Your fingers may even come to the wall, but pressing the arms into the ground, keeping the chin tucked into the chest as you start to roll up the spine. You can walk the feet a little further up the wall, and we're going to take our hands to our lower back to support the lower back. You may walk the elbows in a little closer, rolling on to the backs of the shoulders a little more. This is our supported shoulder stand. We're keeping the head nice and still, protecting the neck. Finding our breath. Full belly breaths. You can always have a little extra padding underneath the neck and head if that feels better for you. And you can come down at any point. You may lift that right leg now and start to circle the right ankle in one direction. And then eventually taking it in the opposite. And then releasing that right foot back to the wall, bending the right knee, and reaching the left foot towards the sky. The glutes are engaged. Circling the left ankle in one direction. And taking it in the opposite. Great. Eventually releasing that left foot to the wall, bending the left knee, and releasing the hands down beside you. Rolling down the back one vertebrae at a time. Once you arrive, go ahead and feel the lower back releasing to the ground as you take a full breath. And then walking the feet in line with the knees. Taking your arms out into a T position with the palms facing down. We're going to walk our feet over to the left side, allowing the knees to fall to the left. And you're trying to keep that right knee stacked on top of the left. So you can even place that left hand on top of the right knee. And then we're allowing that right shoulder to sink towards the ground. You may pick up your head and turn your gaze towards the right fingertips, if that is okay with your neck today. And we're tuning back into our breath, noticing where we can soften in the body. Taking full inhales and full exhales. One more breath here. And then gently bringing the head back to center, releasing that left hand and walking the feet back up the wall. This time we're going to go ahead and walk our feet over to our right side, allowing that left knee to come on top of the right. So we're trying to keep the hips nice and square. You can take your right hand and place it on top of the left knee. And then we're trying to allow that left shoulder to release towards the ground. You may even turn your gaze towards the left fingertip, finding your full breath. Feeling length in the spine. Feel that left hip pressing away from you towards the wall. And taking one more breath. Beautiful. This time, go ahead and take that left hand around to press yourself up. Go ahead and meet me on your hands and your knees. And if you have that blanket close by, go ahead and slide the blanket up so your knees are on your blanket, finding a little more support there. And then we're going to go ahead and come into our tabletop position where our wrists are underneath our shoulders, our knees are underneath our hips. Spreading our fingers really wide. Feel the shoulders loop down the back. And feeling a long line of energy from the tip of our tailbone all the way to the crown of our head. And imagine that you could set a teacup on the back of the neck so it's nice and long here. Tuning back into your breath if you have lost it. Then on your next inhale, allow the belly to drop, the shoulders to loop down the back. And it's as if you're pulling the mat towards you with the hands, allowing the gaze to lift. As you exhale, coming into an angry cat pose, allowing the head to release. The gaze will come in between the knees, and we're pressing away from the mat with the hands. As you inhale, you're coming back to that cow back. And as you exhale, round. Inhaling cow. And exhaling cat. Take 3 more rounds, moving with your own breath. Noticing how each movement feels in your body. And then we'll meet back in a neutral spine. Taking the knees out as wide as your blanket, big toes to touch, sinking the hips back towards the heels. We're going to reach the arms out in front of us, extending the arms out long. Feel the shoulders loop down the back, and then allow the forehead to come and rest on the mat. And it's okay if the forehead does not come down today. You can always bring your hands here to stack, or if you have some books or anything available to bring the ground up to you, and your hips can even, be lifted more, can be here and allowing the chest to melt down. So just finding wherever you are today and accepting that without judgment. Seeing where you can soften here. If your arms are extended out in front of you, eventually release the forearms to the ground. Still feeling the shoulders shrug down the back. We're going to take a few moments here to just really allow ourselves to ground, placing a little bit of pressure on that area between the two brows. Helps bring us into a state of ease and relaxation. Taking your attention to the tip of your tailbone. As you inhale, imagine the breath is traveling all the way up the spine to the crown of the head. As you exhale, feel the breath traveling all the way back down the body, down the spine, to the tip of the tailbone. Inhale, the breath lifts up. And exhaling, the breath travels down. You can even tune back into that 4 count if that helps you to stay present. We'll take 3 more breaths here. The end of your next exhale, reaching the fingertips out and pulling yourself up. Walking the hands back and taking the knees in, taking the feet to one side, and make your way onto your seat. So you can use the edge of your blanket still, sliding where your sits bones are supported. And we're going to take the soles of our feet together here. Go ahead and give the soles of the feet a little massage here, showing the feet some love for what all they do for you each day. Taking one more breath here. And then taking the hands to the outside of the knees, closing the knees together, finding an easy seated position. Ankles or shins cross. We're going to go ahead and take one hand to the opposite shoulder, followed by the other. Feel the shoulders relax down the back. Take a full inhale that finds length in your spine. And as you exhale, taking a circle with the torso in one direction. Inhaling back up the opposite. And taking it in the opposite. So we're giving ourselves a nice, generous hug here. Maybe we're not able to hug our loved ones right now. So just at least giving yourself some love. A big old hug. Taking the opposite hand now on top. And we'll do a circle in one direction. And the other. And you can make these as big or small as you would like. Great. Once you complete your circles, meeting with hands at heart center, thank you so much for spending this time with me. Blessings and namaste. The light within me honors the light within you. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel, Lemon Balm Yoga. I would really appreciate that. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Leave a comment in the section below letting me know what you would like to see next. Thank you so much for joining. See you again next time.